Hi, boys and girls. This is lesson 14 homework. This is thinking about fractions and comparing them using number lines and area models and just our basic knowledge of units. So let's begin. So we started off with thinking about if the units are the same or just what we know about fractions in the size of the units. So we have 1/3 and 1/6. We know that 1/3 is larger than 1/6 because we talked about if you had a tray of brownies, would you rather have one? You're going to have one piece either way. Would you rather the brownies be cut into thirds and have one of those pieces, or if the tray of brownies was cut into sixths and have one piece? So the thirds would be larger. So the same thing here. You're going to get two. Either way, would you rather have halves or thirds? So halves are larger. So the same thing here. You're going to have two either way, which is larger, fourths or sixths. Fourths are larger. And these are things that you just need to know about fractions in general, which is larger. And you're going to get 5 either way, which is larger, eighths or tenths, and eighths are larger. So now you're going to compare with the actual looking like a fraction rather than written in unit form. And we're going to compare them using words, pictures, numbers, and B is done for you. So we have 2/5 and 4/9. So you could draw this, and we know that 2/5 is equal to 4/10. So 4/9. 4/10 is less than 4/9 because tenths are smaller than ninths. So that you have to think of it that way. So we have 3/6 and 3/7. So you're getting 3 either way, which is larger, sixths or seventh. Well, we know that 1/6 is larger than 1/7, so that means 3/6 is larger than 3/7. Same thing here. We have 3/11 and 3/13. So either way, you're getting 3. So you're really comparing 11ths and 13ths. And 1/11 is larger than 1/13. So that means 3/11 is larger than 3/13. For 5/7 and 10/13, we know that 5 and 10 are related, so we can make sure that they have the same numerator. So if we multiply 5/7 times 2, 5 times 2 is 10, 7 times 2 is 14. So it's kind of like comparing 10/14 and 10/13. And which is larger? Actually, the 13ths. I need to rotate this. Let's see if it'll do it for me. Whoops, rotate for me. So 10/13 are larger than 10/14 because you see how we converted the 5/7. The 5, we wanted to make it a 10 so we could compare. If you have 10 in both, you're just comparing the denominators. So we're going to draw 2 tape diagrams. And we talked about first you just make your 2 rectangles. Then create 3/4. And then if you have fourths down here, you know you need to divide these into 12ths and shade in 7ths. And we can see that 3/4 is greater than 7/12. Same thing here. Draw your rectangle. Shade in 2/4, make these fourths as well, and then divide each fourth in half to make eighths. And we can clearly see that 2/4 is greater than 1/8. 1 and 4/10, 1 and 3/5. 1 and 3/5 is larger. And now we're going to use number lines. Well, 3/4 and 5/8. So we made our number line. And I know that half of a half is a fourth. So the blue lines are the fourths because I divided a half and a half. And I know that to make eighths, if I had a tape diagram of fourths, I would draw another line to make it eighths. So I divided the fourths in halves to make eighths. I also know that 1/2 is 4/8. So I know that this is 5/8. Okay. Same thing here. Make your fourths, divide your half in half, and that will give you fourths. And if you divide the fourths into 1, 2, 3 pieces, you'll have 12ths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So again, you have to use what you know about fractions to help you. So 4 tenths and 4 fifths and 7 tenths. I was looking at this. I know that 1/2 is 5 tenths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the fifths are every other tenth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have to divide your number lines evenly. It's a little tricky, but I know you can do it. And the same thing here. I divided my number line into thirds. 1, 2, 3. And then to make ninths, you have to divide your thirds into 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. This page is a little tricky because you have to just use your knowledge. So you can draw a model, you can use multiplication, or just your knowledge. So we have 1/7 and 2/7. Well, would you rather have 1/7 or 2/7? 5/7 and 11/14. I know that 11/14 is, what I did in my head is I know that 7 times 2 is 14. So if 7 times 2 is 14, 5 times 2 is 10. So this would be 10/14, so that's less. I did the same thing here because I have tenths and fifths. I made this tenths. 5 times 2 is 10, so 3 times 2 is 6. 7 tenths is more than 6 tenths. Now you can write out the multiplication or you can do it in your head. It's up to you. I have 2/3 and 9/15. Well, I know that 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 5 is 10, so this would be 10/15, which is more than 9/15. 3/4 and 9/12. Well, I know 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. Oh, look, they're equal. Well, 5/3, 5/2. Well, we have the same numerator. We're getting 5 either way. Would you rather have thirds or halves? I'd rather have halves. Simon claims 4/9 is greater than 1/3. Ted thinks 4/9 is less than 1/3. Who is correct? So we needed to draw our diagram. So this is 4/9 and this is 1/3. Well, Ted was correct. Oh, what did I say? 4/9 is less than... No, Simon is correct. Sorry, what did I do? Simon is correct. 4/9 has more area than 1/3. So that means 4/9 is larger or greater than 1/3. Additionally, I did some multiplication. And to make 1/3 ninths, I know 3 times 3 is 9, 1 times 3 is 3. So 1/3 is equal to 3/9, right? 1, 2, 3. So 4/9 is greater than 3/9. Okay, so I know I usually go pretty quickly in the homework because we've done the problem set together, we've done the concept development, we've worked in small groups, we've answered your questions if you've asked them, but some of this is just fraction knowledge that you need to just kind of understand and be able to do by now. So we're going to keep practicing because practice makes better, but this needs to kind of stick in your brain. Okay, so we'll do more. Of course, we're going to do more fraction work tomorrow in school. So I'll see you then. Have a wonderful evening.